and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a makeup tool review for you. This is the Super Sponge, and they sent me the sponge in exchange for an honest YouTube review. I am pretty particular about my beauty sponges, but I really wanted to try this one because it is silicone infused. So I don't know if you guys remember, but there was like a brief moment of the beauty industry where everybody was like obsessed with those little like clear, they look like implants, like silicone like pieces that you would use to swipe foundation on. I tried that and I absolutely hated it, but this is a sponge that is supposed to be silicone infused, so it looks really promising, and I see a bunch of good reviews on the internet, so I was really excited that they chose to reach out to me. So it looks like a normal beauty sponge, except the top darker part is silicone infused, and then the bottom is your traditional like uninfused regular beauty sponge portion. They come in a couple different colors, but in the case there is also this little scrub pad where you can use to clean your sponges, and it just says to use a bar of soap, so nothing fancy needed to clean one of these. It says that it's supposed to use only half of the foundation that you're normally using, and that it is more stain resistant so that they don't get like as gross as fast, because that is a big gripe I have with regular makeup sponges. So anyway, I'm gonna run to the bathroom quick and just fully rinse this out, soaking it with water and then squeezing the excess water out through the bottom, it says. So don't point it down to squeeze it, like point it up to squeeze it so the water comes out of the uncoated side. So right away I noticed that it didn't grow as much as a normal beauty blender would, but it is still a pretty good size. And I'm not quite sure if you'll be able to tell on camera, but you can kind of see like the surface water droplets kind of remain on the silicone side, but not on the beauty sponge side. So right away I can tell that the silicone coated side is not going to absorb as much foundation. It also like feels really velvety soft. Like it doesn't feel like those plastic little like silicone chicken cutlets, I'm gonna call them, that everybody was obsessed with earlier. So I'm going to use the Maybelline Super Stay Foundation in the shade 220. This is my holy grail drugstore foundation for sure. It might even be my holy grail foundation of all time. It says not to put foundation directly onto your sponge, which is what I usually do, but I generally use up to 2 full pumps if I want a really full coverage foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead and just squeeze 1 pump onto my hand, and I'm gonna start picking up a little bit with the sponge. So I'm just gonna pick up a little bit here and start dabbing this on my face. Even though the sponge itself is quite soft, like it's squishy, it doesn't feel as soft on your face just because it does have that silicone coating. I'm just going over parts of my face that was a little bit uneven here and just covering up some of these dark spots. Okay, this is actually insane. Let me just lean forward here and show you the finish that I've gotten on my face. This type of coverage usually takes me about 1.5 pumps with this foundation to get to. I still have like half a pump of foundation on my hand. What? It just, with the way that the silicone feels, it feels like I shouldn't be getting such a good finish, but I did. So next, I generally like to go in with some sort of a cream contour. This is a matchstick from Fenty Beauty, and it is in the shade Mocha. And I'm just gonna go ahead and dab this a little bit around my face, like less than what I normally would use, just in case. I'm just gonna see how this blends out. It's definitely different than a sponge. It kind of feels like, I don't want to say it feels like leather, like bouncing on your face, but it kind of just feels, you know, it feels rigid. Like it feels like something rigid is bouncing on your face. So it's not as comfortable as a sponge, but holy cow. Like I feel like I'm getting the same results I normally would with just like a lot less product than I normally use. For blush, I'm going to try this NARS Orgasm Blush Stick. I am going to go ahead and dab this on my face as well, kind of a little bit lighter than I normally would, again, just because it worked so well with the matchstick earlier. And I love this one because it's not super pigmented in pink, but it gives you just like a really healthy shimmer. This is really nice. Do you see the glow that I left on my face? Okay, I know I did this a little bit out of order, but I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of this Too Faced Born This Way foundation and dab on just a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and take the clean side of the sponge and blend this in and bring it on my eyes as well. Oh, too much. Okay, so the other end, I think you're supposed to use it in the event that you use too much product like I just did here on my chin. And dab it out. Wow, this side feels really soft. The amount of just like coverage that I'm getting with such little product is still amazing to me. I am like here for how my face looks right now. Like the finish is so good. The amount of product I use was just like not a lot at all. Let's try to wash this thing with a little scrubby thing that they included. So off camera, I did also just slap on brows mascara and some lip oil, but let's get back to the sponge. The little sponge washed off perfectly. It basically looks brand new. It feels brand new, like none of the textures have changed. By the way, this bottom part is so soft. It's like velvet. Anyway, I just cannot get over like the finish that it has achieved on my face using half the product that I normally do. Especially if you are spending like $40, $50 on a bottle of foundation. Now it goes twice as far. So you are going to make your money back if you switch to this super sponge. I think the only thing that doesn't make it absolutely perfect is just like the way that it feels when you're like bouncing it on your face. It does just feel stiff. But that's literally because it's silicone infused and like that's what's making it use less product. So even though it's less comfortable to use as I'm dabbing it on my face than like a normal beauty sponge, I think it's worth it to use half the product. And I'm pretty sure this thing is like $19, $20, which is on par with most sponges on the market, especially if you go to like a Sephora. So yeah, I would definitely recommend checking out the super sponge if you're in the market for another beauty sponge. I hope you guys have enjoyed this review and thank you guys so much for watching. If you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and I hope to see you next time. Bye!